Hello there everyone. Up for review today we have a perfume by the house of Van Cleef Arpels and it's called Midnight in Paris. Released in September of 2010, Midnight in Paris could also be advertised as Bulgari Silver. All you have to do would be throw it in a Bulgari black bottle and turn the rubber into silver, and this would work great as that. This fragrance is marketed towards men, but as most of you know, women can wear this one quite easily because of its floral undertones. The top notes of this scent consist of holly, rosemary, lemon, bergamot, and leather. The middle notes consist of styrax, tea, and blackened lily of the valley, while the base concludes of incense, benzoin, tonka beans, and almond. Surely, Midnight in Paris is extremely smooth, and it has sort of a sparkling quality to it, I find. As I mentioned, this scent is marketed towards men, and I must admit it does come off a bit masculine at first, but as it warms up to your skin and blends in with your own natural scent, it becomes very unisex, much like Bulgari Black, but we'll get into that a little later in this review. On to the packaging and bottle design of the scent. When you get your Midnight in Paris, either it be eau de toilette or an eau de parfum, it's going to come in a box. Now I have the eau de toilette box, so we'll go ahead and show that right now. As you can clearly see, it says Midnight in Paris up here by Van Cleef Arpels, pour un. It's an eau de toilette natural spray, and this comes in a 1.3, the one that I got anyway. I believe it also comes in a 4.2 eau de parfum. I don't think that the eau de toilette comes in a bigger size. I may be mistaken. If I am, please correct me in the comment section below. Back of this box, we have Van Cleef Arpels Haute Parfumerie. And it has their website, www.vcaperfumes.com. And on the bottom, this goes in with a very funny story, which may lead me to believe that this fragrance is illegal for me to own. On the bottom where the batch code should be, the batch code was ever so conveniently scraped off, which leads me to believe that this product may be in fact stolen. Now, I live nowhere near a Van Cleef Arpels store, or a boutique that would sell Van Cleef Arpels, so please be assured that I am not a thief and I did not steal this perfume. I did, however, contact Amazon about the seller, and they told me that they would refund me my money because they also believe that the fragrance was stolen. You'll be able to further understand what I'm saying when I get to the bottle. I also forgot to mention that there is a very nice logo on top of the box. And there's the logo. It essentially says VC, and then it has a Eiffel Tower, and then A, which probably means Van Cleef Arpels, but one can't be too sure in the world of perfumes. I suppose now we'll take a look at my bottle. The bottle for Midnight in Paris is simply stunning. Here we have a buffet of constellations, beautiful glass. As you can see, it fades from sort of an amber color, which is a suggestion of a sunset, into a deep black, which indicates midnight. We have a beautiful, moderately heavy cap, which is indeed a hard, heavy plastic, but it is engraved and with this beautiful design, metallic finish on there. Wonderful touch by Van Cleef Arpels. What else can we expect? Let's go ahead and throw a spray on for review. That way it'll be dried down once we're ready to go ahead and look at this scent completely. Now let's finish looking at the bottle and what I mentioned earlier about my perfume, why I think it might be a stolen perfume. On the back here, I'm not so sure if you can clearly see it, but right here is where the serial code and everything would be. Now, they really could have gotten away with selling me this if they wouldn't have scratched it off so roughly and so barbarically. And there's even a mess up right here. This was obviously the thieves' first couple bottles because they didn't even do it right. This highly upsetted me because I would have loved to pay retail. I mean, I've heard of people stealing testers, but I have never seen someone going to this extent not to get caught. It's just kind of sad. I'm glad I have the scent, but I almost feel like I should go and buy it from an actual Van Cleef Arpels retailer just to make up for the fact that I own something like this. And on the bottom we have a sticker which indicates your concentration and how much fluid you have. Onto that scent that I sprayed earlier onto my hand. Like I said earlier, this fragrance is wonderful. It opens rather fresh and masculine, You have a large rosemary mixed with lemon, creating an extremely herbaceous, fresh citrus accord. The leather is extremely smooth. The top of this fragrance is also dominated by a very green bergamot type accord. I think it might be the holly interacting with the bergamot on this one, guys. The middle of styrax, tea, and blackened lily of the valley. Lily of the valley normally, to me, has a very, very modern white musk kind of perfume for young girls type of vibe, but a blackened lily of the valley, which is also found in Bulgari Black. Blackened lily of the valley reminds me of a very tarry, resinous, woody floral. It's not likened to its sister at all, whereas lily of the valley normally comes off very green and sparkling to me. I love styrax in a fragrance. Whenever I find styrax in a fragrance, I always find that it is rather refined and smooth. Lapsang Shusong tea comes off very resinous, along with that blackened lily of the valley. They are paired perfectly together. Lapsang Shusong tea also assists in that resinous quality because it is a tea that is smoked with pine. So, imagine that. In the base, we have an incensey almond, assisted by a deep vanillic benzoin crystals alongside of earthy, sweet tonka beans. Sure, the beginning starts off masculine, but the dry down is really what counts, and that's what you're going to be smelling for the primary length of your perfume. In this case, the dry down is primarily feminine, in my opinion. It does have some masculine overtones, but at its heart, it is very feminine. I have never been to Paris. I don't know if I will ever be to Paris. I hope to someday be to Paris. So I cannot attest to this smelling like a midnight in Paris. But I can tell you this does smell like a very warm, humid summer evening in Pennsylvania, where you're just driving across the countryside where I happen to live, and you have some freshly laid cornfields on each side of you, the wind blowing through your hair, and the cement on the ground. This scent is just wonderful, guys, and you should really try to pick it up.